Alright, you guys, I have attempted this video multiple times throughout January trying to prepare for Pariah's birthday. And every time I do it, I'm just not satisfied. It just doesn't do the boy justice. But Pariah's birthday is coming up on Friday, and so there's no better time than now to tell his story. Pariah has gone by many names. Mr.Baby, Sir Baby, Pariah, Coconut Head. You're my sous chef. You're my rotten soldier. You're my best friend in my whole world. I know you have way more names than that. You get the point. I had gone through a very deep period of isolation, and my mental health was declining. I would say rapidly, but over a span of years, it became very dominant. And I really, really wanted to get a dog. My entire life, I have always wanted a dog, and I was always told no. And so I was my own adult, and I made the decision that I wanted a dog, and I really needed the support. I was very scared for where I was going. As much as I would love to say that it was only solely for me and my happiness, Sanyai was a outdoor-indoor cat, and he ended up with a severe immune disorder. And so having him around other cats, if he got sick, he would more than likely get sicker than a healthy cat or the common cat. And so I was very nervous about getting him a companion that could possibly get him sick. So I decided that I was going to test the waters and also get Sanyai a companion. I was really, really hoping that bringing a puppy around him, he would adapt, and they are thick as thieves. They are brothers. During this time of my life, I was hanging out with what I would consider the Pariah. We were very tight-knit. We all came back together and reunited, and we had a very, very reckless, amazing childhood of just complete shenanigans. And so I also wanted to get Pariah for everybody else in that group. We all made very dark jokes. We all were very questionable mentally. And so I wanted to kind of get a family dog in that sense. When I found Pariah, I was not looking for him. The only thing I had decided was that I did want a dog. I can say that I was hanging on to hope that he would just appear when it was needed, and that was the theme with Sanyai. I did not go searching for Sanyai. Sanyai chose me, and I accepted, and we became family. And so I was visiting a friend, and their roommate had a litter of puppies, and they only had 2 dogs left. I knew I wanted a brindle dog. There's a whole story behind that, but my dog, my very first dog, was going to be brindle. And there was 2 left. So I had the choice between a boy and a girl, and I decided to get Pariah because he had like a little heart on the back of his neck. I wanted to test whether or not he chose me. So I went into my friend's bedroom and I took Pariah, and I was like, if he feels comfortable enough sleeping with me, then I'm going to take him. And so we ended up napping very hard. He would sleep right at my throat and right at my armpit, so he kind of migrated between the two. And so the fact that he was comfortable with me enough that he could sleep, he wasn't crying, I fell in love with him. The first nap, I fell in love with him, and I was like, yep. But I did not have the funds. At this time in my life, I was going through the repo, and I lost my job, so the Pariah did what big brothers do, and they came up with the money so I could get him, because my heart was so set on him. I also spent a lot of time with Pariah's mom and dad, and I loved them. They were such good dogs. They both had their own personalities, and I loved both of them. So I was like, he's gonna be both of them? Let's go. Let's do this. And so my brothers do what brothers do. And so then I got to take him home, and we went on many adventures. He loves sunbathing, so when I would take him to the lake, he would just lay down and sunbathe. He loved going in the water. He was just a very adventurous dog, so I was very excited. I say this part with a sternness. Unfortunately, the Pariah dispersed because some of them had been relapsing. And at this point in my life, and many years before this point in my life, I did not tolerate drug use. And so it wasn't by kicking them out of my life, it was out of respect that I don't want to be around that. So I lost contact. When they would get sober, they would come back around. I respected it, and I always welcomed them home with open arms. And unfortunately, the one that was staying clean the longest had a relapse. Pariah had already gone through many traumatic events with me, which I did not foresee them happening, and I will always feel guilty that the first year of his life was probably one of the most traumatic incidences that even I had been through. And he is just this new little life in the world, and he's being exposed to all of this. When my brother relapsed, he went into cardiac arrest, and I never fully healed from that. The only thing that kept me from really going off the deep end was Pariah. And so this loving animal that already has a beautiful story ended up being my saving grace. You know the rule. We're not crying our makeup off. He had been my saving grace many times, and ever since he was a puppy, he was trained to help me with my anxiety and my depression, and essentially the isolation that had really taken a massive toll on me. And he did not falter when my brother passed away. He is a very amazing and intelligent dog. He is a massive goofy goober and a sweet boy, but he also has a job, and I'm very proud of him for getting me through all of that, and also still seeing for myself the incredible connection between humanity and dogs. I had never experienced it in my life, and I did not expect him to get me through all of the things that he got me through. And with that, I have literally protected Pariah with my entire life. There had been times where he had been shot at, and I would shield him with my body. So, as much as he saved me, I had been saving him, and we have a very, very powerful, strong, heavy connection with each other. With all the heaviness discussed now, he brought me out of my shell, and he taught me how to see the world again with loving eyes and compassion and patience, and learning how to communicate with an animal and learning that language. And it was just the whole experience of having him has really built me up as a human being. And so I know a lot of my videos are way longer, but really when it comes down to Pariah, he's just one of the most amazing saving graces that I have ever had. And that is my rotten soldier. I love my dog so much, and I'm very excited to celebrate another year with him, because I don't know what my life would be without him. I love him with my whole ass heart. On the nights that I had absolutely nobody and laying in bed crying and stuff like that, those days were over. Pariah doesn't allow that. If I cry and my head's down, Pariah will not allow me to do that. He always lifts my head up for me. He always checks on me. He'll lick my tears. He opens doors. He will sit with me in the shower. He does so many things. You are amazing. He's scratching himself right now, but he does a very good job, and he knows me better than anybody ever could. And I just feel very blessed that through people loving me, I give all that love back to him and put it all back into him, and he loves everybody. He's such a good boy. Come up here. You about to be a birthday boy. Hey. Hey, you. Yeah, shit fell. It's alright. Come on. Oh my god, chaos. Well, it's about to be his birthday, and I'm very excited to celebrate it with him. We do the birthday song. People do send him gifts. We will open it on video and share it with everybody, and that has just been a tradition ever since he was a puppy. So here's to another one, and thanks for listening to me boast about one of the best animals I've ever had.